We're quickly entering the Easter season, and I wanted to kind of take a moment just to share with you some thoughts that I have about preparing our hearts and getting ready for Easter. The Bible says in Psalms 104 that we should enter His courts with praise and enter His gates with thanksgiving. And I kind of wanted us to talk about that thanksgiving part just a moment, because it kind of comes to my attention that sometimes in my own life we say things and we do things over and over again, and we do them so much that we really don't take time to examine that we forgot what the meaning actually is. And the example that I came up with is, when I'm talking to my wife, at the end of every sentence that I have, we always usually say to each other, "I love you." So, every time we hang up the telephone, we say, "I love you." Anytime we, going away for any period of time, getting in the car, leaving, going to the grocery store, whatever, the last thing that we say to each other is, "I love you." And that's a great thing to do. So the last words that a person hears is, "I love you." But sometimes the meaning of that gets so diluted that we forget what that actually means. And the example that I thought of, we had a big laugh about this, but I was talking to one of my nurse friends the other day, and we were just talking about things, and at the end of the sentence, or the end of our conversation, I said, "I love you." And it's just one of those things that I had gotten used to saying, and it lost its meaning. So that's kind of what this message is about, is being thankful to God and having thanks in our heart. And I wanted us to take a time to just really examine that. And maybe over the course of the next few days, that you can really think about when you're praising God or thanking God in your prayer life or just throughout the day, that you pause for a minute and you really, 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 really examine your heart and see if that thanksgiving really lives on the inside of your heart. And there's 4 things that I think that I've come up with that a thankful heart would never have. And one of those is judgment, to be judgmental. I don't believe a thankful heart would ever be judgmental towards someone or something or anything like that. To be judgmental is to hold a debt or hold an obligation to something. And so I really believe that a thankful heart would not be judgmental. The next, I think a thankful heart would not feel deserving, would not feel like someone owes them something or anything like that, would not have a deserving attitude. For everything that we have and all of who we are is because of the way Christ has made us. We deserve death, but yet He gave us life instead. So a thankful heart would not be deserving. I think the third thing would be, a thankful heart would not be filled with unforgiveness. It would not harbor things against a brother or sister or family member or neighbor or anybody or anything. A thankful heart would not be ungrateful or unforgiving. Not ungrateful, unforgiving. And then last, I think a thankful heart would not be afraid to love. And in this world that we live in, there's so much things going on, and there's so much evil and hate and stuff in the world, that oftentimes we may want to isolate ourselves with a particular group of people, or just surround ourselves. And I don't think that's necessarily bad in our spiritual walk, that we surround ourselves with people that could help us grow. But at times we also need to share love outside of our comfort zone and outside of our friends and our inner circle, that we have to branch out and love people that we may not necessarily like, but we can still love them and love them with the love of the Lord. So I hope as we go into this Easter season that you will take the opportunity to maybe ask God, is there things in your heart that you feel that that he feels that shouldn't be there, and ask him to give you a grateful heart. But even in that giving of a grateful heart, sometimes he takes the one that you have and he roots out the things that doesn't need to be there. So I just encourage you that in your prayer life and in your time with God these next few days before Easter approaches, that you really, really examine your heart and get ready, and maybe the Easter Sunday morning will just be an extra special time for you. Thank you, and God bless you.